What is essential is invisible to the eye. That's a quote from The Little Prince, and it is so relevant for what I'm about to share with you today. Because what exactly are you putting your faith and your trust in? Because it's nothing that you can see, touch, hear, smell. And the thing that you desire, whatever it is, it's already yours. And the only thing that we're doing is trusting that it is already ours. So why does this feel impossible? I'm going to share with you a step-by-step way for you to begin to really go within and trust what is invisible to the eye. And I want to share with you this beautiful source story that I want you to plug in whatever it is that you are manifesting for yourself, whether it's money, career, a specific person, a house, a job, a car, a place to live, a healthy body, whatever it is. Don't limit what you're about to hear and say, oh, that's nothing, that's no big deal. I want you to plug in whatever it is that you desire. And as I'm sharing this source story with you, I want you to imagine all the possibilities on how your desire can unfold for you if you allow it. Welcome, my name is Rose. Welcome to The Rosey Life, where we help you free your mind and follow your heart so you live a life that you love. If you are interested in working one-on-one with me, go to RoseyLife.com. All the information is down below. If you'd like to join the Rosey Life course and community, you can do that as well. And and one last thing, my list for the platinum program, my 6-month platinum program that begins July 15th. It begins July 15th. The signups are going to begin in May. So if you would like to have first dibs on the signups, all you have to do is email me and I'll add you onto the list, and I will send those people that already notified me the signups for that, and then after that it will be open to the general public, and I'll continue announcing it until it is full. Okay, all right, so this story, you guys, is so fun. I've had so many success stories coming in, and they're all so wonderful. I just posted one on the membership channel where her entire life changed, like a new house, money. It kept coming and coming and coming. And she just watched a couple of videos, I don't know which ones, and it just really hit home for her. And I think she just stopped caring about time and how long and deadlines and all of these things. And she said, you know what? I don't care. I don't care about the time. I don't care. I'm just decided that these things are mine. And I think in less than 7 days, she came into a lot of money and to a new house. Like everything just began to unfold for her very quickly. So if you're interested, you can watch that. That's on the membership channel. If you're not a member, maybe you want to be, you can be. I appreciate your support if you want to. If not, then we'll just keep going on with this video, okay? So this is another client source story, and she shared this with me in a session. And the funny thing is that we were talking about, she's one of my program members actually, and one of the current 6-month platinum program members. And we were talking about something else. And as we were talking, she had a realization of this manifestation because she didn't really realize that how it unfolded. And why I love this story so much is because it's from the beginning, from the inception of her desire and the entire unfolding. And as we talked together, she was just like, oh my God. She's like, oh my God, like it was happening right underneath her nose, the unfolding, but she didn't even realize what was going on until after. until afterwards. And I want to share this because a lot of you don't even realize that your stories are already unfolding, that your desires are already happening. Everything's always happening. Everything's moving. And so what you put your attention on, are you putting attention on the unfolding, or are you whining and complaining and focusing on the things that are not here, or that you don't see it and other people are getting what you want? Do you see? Because depending on where you're at and how you're looking at your world, your life, right? Are you looking at everything through the lens of it's not working? Are you looking at it through the lens of no, it's working? It doesn't matter if I see it or not, because remember, what is essential is invisible to the eye. What is essential, meaning the only thing that is needed, is invisible to the eye. So you are putting all your faith in something that you cannot see, something that you cannot touch. That is what you're putting your faith in, into that higher self within you, to source, God, infinite intelligence, but it is very much alive in you, causing you to breathe. Okay? So here's her story, okay? It's really fun, okay? So it started off in her house. And remember, whatever it is that you desire, I want you to not look at her manifestation, but listen to the unfolding of it, and it'll unfold for you differently, okay? But whatever it is, I want you to see how it unfolded for her and how it could be unfolding for you, but you're not even aware. You can't figure it out. So just don't try to figure it out. This is to encourage you to remember that it is unfolding. It's happening for you. Okay, so there's a blank wall in her house, in her hallway. And it's a big wall, she said. And she says, I really want something big, just something big and beautiful that when you walk by it, you just love it. And she says, I like maps. And she says, I really like old vintage maps, or different maps that are drawn or painted in different ways. And she says, I was kind of getting ideas of what I would want up there. And so she said she was on Facebook Marketplace and she saw a huge map art piece, but she said she fell in love with it right away, but she was just like way more than she was willing to spend. She was like, I love it, but I don't love the price. And so she was like, you know what, I'm just going to keep moving. However, she saw, she continued to look, for other options, but she says, and she said she one day saw this same print on, it was no longer on the Facebook Marketplace, but she saw it in a different neighborhood online group. Okay, so she saw it, she was like, wait a minute, that's that map, that's that art piece that I like, and now it's in this other group now it's closer. The Facebook Marketplace was like for the entire city, a big city. And then she saw this Facebook, or not Facebook group, another group that was in her neighborhood. And she was like, hold on phone. She's like, it's closer. It's closer to me than I thought. And she said, so she saw it and then it was selling for less than it was on Facebook group. But she said it was still too much. It was still too much. But at that moment, she said, it's mine. She says, that's exactly what I want on there. She says, I don't know how, but that's going to be mine. So she said, somehow it's going to be mine. So she said she had a price in mind that she was willing to pay for it. Okay. She saw it. It was but then she was in her car, I think she said, with her husband, and she got a notification and she saw that it was being given away for free. And she said not only was it being given away for free, but she realized it was in her building, that the map was located in her building, the building that she lives in. And then it says, go to this floor. It's in the hallway. If you want it, you can go pick it up. It's free. Guess what? It was down the hallway from her house. It was located down the hallway from her house, right there. Want to talk about delivered to your door? Her desire went from too much, can't afford it, to how's this? How about we just put it down the hall from your house? Is that close enough? And it's free. Is that good? Do you see? I love this so much because it started off as something out of reach, something that she thought, it's too much in my budget. She had no idea. She lives in a very large city and she's like, who knows where this is located? And she's just like, it's out of reach for me. And she's just like, but I really like it. But I really like it. And then she saw it again and she was like, oh, it's in my neighborhood. And then it not only was out of reach, but it began to become closer and closer because she didn't walk away from it completely. She was just like, I like it, but I don't know if I can afford that. It not only was the distance not an issue, the price was not an issue. Do you see? Nothing became an issue. So time, distance, money, and the how are irrelevant to your desires. They're irrelevant to your desires. They are the hows. Time, distance, and how. They are hows. The conditions, the circumstances, the unfolding, the details of it. They're the hows. And the hows are not your business. They're not your job. I heard, you guys have heard this saying, right? The devil's in the details. Well, think about where that comment comes from, right? The devil in biblical terms, it's metaphysical terms, it's doubt. Devil is doubt, okay? It's disbelief and doubt. And the devil is in the details, meaning the doubt is in the how. So if you sit around asking, but how is this going to happen? But where is it? But it's been this long. Where is it? Why is this taking so long? Why are other people getting what they want and I'm not? Why is this working for them? Why is this easy? Why is it hard? This is hard. This is... That's all the how. And the devil, the doubt, is in the details. And the details, the how, is where you get frustrated, you get pissed off, you get angry, you feel like throwing the towel in, you feel like quitting, you feel like cursing all the manifesting community. You just want nothing to do with it because you're so mad because you think you've tried it all and you have to do more or you have to fix yourself or there's more to do and it still doesn't matter what you do. It just doesn't seem to work. That's all because you put your nose in the details. The devil is in the details. And the details are not for you. The details are the how, the unfolding of how something comes about into your reality. She just stayed true to her desires. She's like, you know what? That's mine. I don't know how, but somehow that's going to be mine. She didn't know how she was going to pay for it. She didn't know how, where it was located, none of it, right? She just decided that that's hers. So the how is done for you. The how is done for you. I want you to repeat this all together now. I don't know. I don't have to know how. I don't have to know how. I just get what I say, what I choose, what I assume I am. I declare it, I am it, and I trust what is essential is invisible to the eye. I trust in my inner self. I trust in my own power, my own authority. I trust in that. I'm going to put all my trust in my decision, my choice, no matter what it looks like, because I don't have to know how. The how is where people get sucked into, and then you try to figure it out, or it's been X amount of days, or what. All of these things are details. Remember, time, distance, money, how, those are details, and they're not for you to figure out. What exactly, here's another question that I suggest that you guys ask yourself. It's already done. We know that. We've heard that the script is written, creation's finished, it's already done. You hear all these almost like catchphrases at this point in the manifesting community, right? So if you know that, if it's done, what exactly am I telling myself that I have to do still? Ask yourself that question. What exactly am I telling myself that I still have to do if it's already done, if it's already created, if it's already mine? So when I am not doing anything, right? When I am not doing anything, right? It's like, I'm not doing it. Remember, you're not the doer. You're not the howing. You don't do the howing. You're not the doing. So what exactly do you think are you telling yourself that you're doing or that you have to do, because you're not doing it? Do you see? You're not doing anything. You are choosing. You are choosing your desire, and the how, the don't, the doing, the unfolding, the bridge of incidents, all of those little catchphrases that you guys like using, whatever they are. All that doing, all the howing is being done through you, as you, and you don't even know you're doing it. And that includes the thoughts, that includes the feelings, that includes the actions. And I had this talk in the Rosey Life course and community on Wednesday about inspired action. Because it's all inspired action. Your thoughts are inspired thoughts. Your feelings are inspired feelings. Everything is inspired, but you're not the one inspiring it. That source inspiring you to think, inspiring you to feel, inspiring you to move. So there's nothing for you to figure out. You just roll with everything. You roll with it knowing that you already chose your ending. You already chose your wish fulfilled. You already decided who you are. You decided, and you allow what is essential, is invisible to the eye, to do the doing for you. But what happens is everybody gets all restless and mad. It's been this long, but these conditions, but I have a bill due, but this is happening, but she said, but he said. All of these things, so you guys get sucked into the details, where the devil's in the details. That's the doubt, right? Instead of remembering that everything is meaningless. All of it. Your feelings, your thoughts, the conditions. It doesn't matter how serious or horrible you think they are, or how mild you think they are. It's all meaningless. What does that mean? It means that you are the only one deciding what everything means. So why not make everything mean that it's part of the unfolding? It's part of what God's doing. Well, this must be part of it. I don't have to like it or dislike it. I don't have to agree with it or disagree with it. I'm just going to go ahead and decide that this must be all part of the doing. This must be the doing that Source is doing. It's all doing because I'm not the doer. Source is doing it. So Source is doing all of this. So I'm just going to flow with it. I'm not going to judge it. I'm not going to hate it. I'm not going to like it or dislike it. I'm just going to flow with it. Because the more that I flow as Source, as God, as infinite intelligence, as like Bruce Lee says in one of his quotes, he said, become like water, right? That be like water. A water will go into a cup. A water will go through a hose. A water will go through a faucet. A water just becomes one with whatever vessel it's in. So when you become like water, you are now flowing with Source, with God, and you're allowing yourself to be guided and to be taken. So if you have thoughts or feelings, stop getting mad. Just have the feelings. Have the feelings and let them flow. Don't give them a story. They don't mean anything. But some of you get so horribly dramatic about your feelings, and then you think that the feelings are evidence that you're not doing it, or you see something in your reality that you don't like, and you focus on that. And some clients I hear that I work with, they have so much evidence that they are manifestors and they're powerful manifestors, and that they are getting all these things that they want, that one day or 1 month ago they thought that that was an impossible thing, and now they have it. And then something else happens and they're crying and pissed off because they don't have this other thing. But yet I asked them about those other things they manifested that they thought were impossible. They're like, oh yeah, I guess. I'm like, what? I'm like, you thought that thing was impossible, and here it is. It's just like so quick we are to judge. That's why everything is meaningless. So what can you do with this? Here's what you guys can do. You neutralize all conditions. You neutralize them. right? Nothing's good or bad, right or wrong, right? Step back. Step back and neutralize this. I was talking to the Really Life Course community, and I was sharing them with them just to give you an example about neutralizing and taking a step back. Because when you take a step back, I can choose from this place of peace, of power. Then I can decide. But when you're all emotional and you're all caught up in your thinking, and you're just like trying to like escape the feelings and escape the thought, let me watch some more YouTube videos, let me read some more book, let me affirm, let me imagine, let me script, let me do all this stuff, and you are so wound up. And all you do is make it worse by trying to affirm on top of it instead of just like take a step back. Put yourself in a damn timeout, okay? Sit your butt down and say, let me take a step back, because the struggle's not real. Unless I make it real, it's not real. There's no problem. Everything is always working out for me. Everything is okay. I'm not the doer. Me meddling and getting stuck in the middle of the business that's not mine is what's causing me to feel this frustration, or all these old stories and all these old beliefs that are popping up. Let me take a step back. So I was sharing with the course and community members yesterday on the live that I do with them every week, that I was in the morning, I was getting ready, I got out of the shower and I was just doing like my my skincare routine that I like doing, and I noticed that I was feeling anxious. And I was feeling anxious, and I was starting to think. I was starting to go down a rabbit hole of thinking about some stuff. And I noticed I started dropping stuff in the sink. Like I was just like getting a little agitated. And so I was reaching out for something, and I was just like feeling like I didn't like feeling what I was feeling. So I just said, stop, freeze. And I literally had my hand up in the cabinet. And I was just like, freeze. Take a deep breath. Breathe. This is literally what I did. Breathe. Nothing's wrong. There's no problem. Everything is handled. Everything is okay. Breathe. And then I said, decide. What is happening? What do you want to make this mean? And I said, everything's okay. Everything is perfect the way it is, and it's all going to work out. And once I was able to practice a place of peace, of power, I was then able to make a decision on what I wanted to make those thoughts or whatever I was thinking about mean. But while I was sucked into my thoughts, sucked into my feelings, here I'm dropping shit in the sink in the bathroom, and I'm just like, agitated. This is where a lot of people begin to watch more content, or they affirm, or they script, or they get into their head and they just snowball into a just catastrophic thinking. They start thinking of all the things that they don't have, everything that's gone wrong, everything that hasn't worked out, and how long they've been doing this for, and it's so unfair that other people are getting what they want, and it's so easy. Do you see what happens? So what I was sharing with him on this story as an example is, put yourself back in a place of peace, because you are peace. And so we started joking around. We started calling this red light, green light. Remember, like a kid, where you're like walking and somebody says, red light, and everybody has to stop and freeze. And then you have to wait for someone to say green light, and then you got to keep going, right? Well, if you want, you can play around with this red light, green light. And when you see yourself having these little catastrophic moments in your thoughts and your feelings, you're just like, do the red light and breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Just focus on the breathing until you chill the hell out in the moment. Take a step back and remember who you are. Who are you? You are source. I am God. I am source. Nothing's wrong. There's no problems. The struggle's not real. I get to make everything mean what I want it to. There's no race. I can't get this wrong. I can't mess this up. Everything's perfect. Okay, sit my butt down. What do I want to make all this mean now? Now you're in a place of power to think about your choices. You're able to see that there's more options and more choices, more perspectives, more ways to look at this. Clearly, if you're in an anxious spiral or you're upset or crying, it's best to stop and breathe and decide. Take a step back. And now you can change your perception, because the only thing that's ever going on is your perception. You're perceiving something incorrectly. That's why you're feeling bad, because you're perceiving the things incorrectly. Because there's only God, there's only good, there's only love, there's only fulfillment, there's only, yes, you can have it, yes, that too, and that, yes, and yes, and yes. And the how is where people try to get sucked into, or they try not to be sucked into. So stop trying to fight the details and don't get into the details. So you know what? Those are not my business. I don't have to know how. I don't have to know how. I'm just going to trust in what's essential is invisible to the eye. Thank you guys so much for liking the video. Thank you for subscribing to The Rosey Life. I appreciate you guys so much. Cannot talk. I appreciate you guys so much. All right, and I appreciate your love and support. And you guys so got this. What is essential? What is essential for you to trust in is invisible to the eye. That's all. I love you guys so, so much. You're all so freaking amazing, and I'll see you soon.